the Pleasant Grove City Council in our work session on this Wednesday, January the 8th, 2025. And welcome everyone here. We have all our council members present and accounted for, and we have a lot of our staff and directors here with us. So we welcome all of you, and we have some of our public here with us has joined us, and also those who have joining us electronically. So our work session, and we'll let our city administrator lead off with it.
Yeah, we don't have any business, so we'd like to get into staff reports, and then we'll also review the agenda items with you. We don't have any public hearings today, so if we can get those in front of you during work session, that will cut down a little bit of time in our council meeting.
Okay. Let's start with Chief Brown.
Mayor and City Council. Kind of glad the holidays are kind of done. We're back to our routine. But we had a busy couple of weeks. Just some of the highlights. You've seen the email that got sent out on the gun caper that started in Linden, and a multi-jurisdictional endeavor there to bring that to a successful conclusion.
Was that a robbery in a brick and mortar?
It's a burglary. Yeah, it's a burglary. It's some businesses that are connected off of Geneva Road down there, and just no alarm system. So they were in there for 8 hours. But yeah, but it was a good caper. Ended up in Pleasant Grove. Our flock cameras helped with that. The stolen truck had gone past that. It ended up being dumped up in your neighborhood up there. So it's a high crime area you're in there, Diana. And then
Old Fort, baby.
Between Diana's neighborhood and Eric's neighborhood, I don't know.
Old Fort, baby.
a week or two before that, we assisted Lehigh. They had a pursuit that ended up out on the freeway, and they had spiked the tires. They had a little standoff for a while, and we went out there and deployed our newly acquired weaponry to gas that car from a distance and bring that to a successful, quicker conclusion. Otherwise, we might have been held up there for hours trying to negotiate. So that was another one of our useful, newly acquired tools that we were able to use on that type of situation. Again, several agencies involved in that standoff with a guy that was, I think, originally wanted for, it's a criminal offense in Lehigh. So a couple of big cases like that has involved our work with several jurisdictions at the same time. It's been really well. We have a new officer that'll be starting on the 21st with his arrival, and then with Rick Henderson coming back March 1st. That should bring us to being fully staffed. So we should be out of the job interview business for a little while. That'll be nice. So looking forward to that. Dates coming up. We'll have Pi Day again in March. We have an awards banquet. We'll send you an invite for that in February. I think it's around the 6th. We'll send you an invite for that. But other than that, things in the police department are going pretty well. I sent you that briefing yesterday, Todd. I don't know if that format was good or sufficient for police activity. I don't know if
Great.
you
Yeah, I
saw
thought
that
it
yet.
Yep, I thought that was very helpful.
Okay.
Yep, thank you.
So you'll see that, and that'll be coming every few days from me and stuff.
That's great.
So
Thanks, Chief.
that's all I have. You have any questions for me?
Just the word caper, is that like a modern term being used? Or I just haven't heard it in a while. I just wasn't sure if we were like bringing it back.
You got
I-
to get to the
I
right generation.
I personally appreciate it,
I'm,
but I was just wondering.
I'm
I
just
heard-
The Lone Ranger on a horse.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Actually, that's funny, because I went straight to Charlie J.
Well, mine was from probably the old Adam West Batman, the Cape
Caper.
Crusaders, right?
Got it.
So yeah, I go back to that time frame. I've been around a second, so yeah.
I
that's
love
where
it.
came from. So, okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Sherry,
I just.
looks like the library's as busy as ever over there. Looks like the library's busy.
It is busy, especially like the last few days. I go downstairs from my office to leave to go home, and it's just jam-packed, like every table, every chair.
That's awesome.
just
though. I love
super
that.
busy.
Yeah.
Our 2 guinea pigs, we lost one last night.
Oh,
Cream died, strawberry and cream.
how?
Don't know. Just came in and
There's a joke there somewhere.
Oh, no.
cream was gone. But we did a Happy New Year activity on New Year's Eve at noon, so the little kids can celebrate and do the countdown. And we think it's kind of a moving target, but with our people counter machines, we got about at least 400
Wow.
at that event, so it was very popular.
I think you should do one for adults, so we don't have to stay up.
Yeah,
I still
what time do you
I
want
still
it?
like the noon. I like the noon. I think that sounds fun.
Yeah, this one definitely wasn't for adults. It was pretty chaotic, but it was fun. They did a balloon drop from
That's
over and even handed out. Stacy's son still has his tuxedo from when he was in ballroom dance, so he went around with treats in his tuxedo,
That's cute.
and they gave them, the blowing things.
The horns, uh-huh.
Yeah. So, yeah, it turned out really good. And, yeah,
That's
we're
awesome.
doing well.
Was that on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
fun. I love that you guys do that.
Oh, and also we have started a puzzle exchange. We've got 1 million puzzles already. So if you need a puzzle,
Like
Come.
people can check them out.
just take them.
Sherry, I have one at home now.
Okay, wait.
Where do they
Yeah.
have to put it in?
Who are you exchanging them with?
So it's just a free thing. So you bring in any puzzles you want to get rid of, drop them off, take whatever puzzles you want.
Okay.
Always take one piece out.
Really?
Oh, Diana.
Okay. That's.
She is cruel. We
that's-
have had
That's
people
where
give us incomplete puzzles,
the
but
type
we
of
ask them to
person she
write
is.
it on the puzzle.
Oh,
if
so
it's
they know what
missing.
piece is missing? Okay, I love that idea. So that's been like a big hit?
Yeah, we probably have 40 puzzles in there right now.
Oh my gosh.
and-
That's a great idea.
I love that.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, thanks.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a service that we provide, so that's
Yeah,
great.
I do those all the time.
Dion? Great weather for taking down Christmas lights.
That's pretty much what we're doing right now is taking down lights, and I think tomorrow we'll be wrapped up with everything other than Main Street and the lift schedules for that next Tuesday. So, other than that, we do have quite a few guys in trainings. Our arborists are attending the state arbor seminars this week, and then we have 3, I believe, that are doing their ICS 3 and 400 or something like that. So. Emergency management, yeah. So we have quite a few that are in trainings this week, but other than that, that's pretty much what we're doing. Hoping for some snow so we can water the lawns next year, but we'll see.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Dion.
David?
Everyone else has the fun, talk about Christmas lights, talk about capers, talk about Happy New Year parties, and then the HR guy comes. Yeah. We are members of the Utah Local Governments Trust, and we get a lot of access to resources, trainings. There's a new platform that we are able to access a lot of trainings from there called Treliant. So a few weeks ago, I sent a training out, a required training for all staff. It's a very thrilling 45-minute training on harassment.
You listening, council? Well, I guess we're
Which ones
staff.
of the council has completed all the trainings?
I'm not going to single out anyone.
Okay?
Who hasn't done any of them?
I'm not going to single out anyone.
It looked like fishing
I'm
scam.
done.
It looked like a fishing.
It does look like a
So
fishing.
I'm not gonna do it.
Scam.
Yeah,
but
I'm
if
not
you-
gonna click on any links. My training. I thought it was a test, David.
I appreciate your caution. There's also some trainings going out for cyber security through KnowBe4. just wanted to let people know that those are legitimate, and we do want our people to be trained, so that's
Every
what I
day
have for
it
today.
tells me how many more days I have to complete it, so I'm watching.
It's a.
Mayor, I treat it as a spam. I just delete it.
There we go.
Well, David, if I can, we've set it up so if you don't do them, we send the reminder more often.
Yeah, I know.
If you don't do them, then you have to fill out an 8-page candidate disclosure.
Candidate disclosure.
They all look like scams to me.
So there you go. Well, that's all I have for today.
No,
Thanks.
David,
What?
Scott and I attended something that you were part of up in Salt Lake. Could you talk about what you do for a hobby?
Oh,
Really
sure.
quick? It was awesome. Scott will attest.
I'm part of a group called Millennial Choirs and Orchestras.
Oh, great.
It's a large organization. They have different choirs in California, Idaho, Utah, Arizona, Texas, Kansas City. There's about 5,000 plus participants total. I was in it when I lived in Arizona, and now here in Utah. I've been in it a couple of years. We had our Christmas performances at Abravanel Hall. We had 5 sold-out shows. It's if you get a chance, definitely should go to one of those performances at one
David,
time.
it was epic. So Scott cried, I cried. It was really good. So Scott won't admit it, I will. Okay.
How often do they do performances?
Twice a year. We have Christmas every year, and then there's one in the Easter time frame.
Okay, and all out of Robinell Hall?
This next, usually at Abravanel Hall, we're doing a different production this next time. It's the end of March, and it's going to be at the UVU
Oh.
Performing Arts,
Okay,
UCCU Center.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
it was,
Yeah,
it
I'll
was
let you-
amazing. I mean, really, it was.
That's awesome.
So thank you.
You're welcome, thank you.
Yeah.
He's good.
Megan,
They have a choir, and then they have an orchestra. It was like nothing you've ever.
Well, we're kicking off the new year, and everybody's at the rec center trying to work out. So it's fun. It's been fun. It's been fun to be really busy. I actually have a couple. I only have 3, so you're gonna have to share. But this is a new membership packet that actually our Andy kind of helped put together. We started it last year, but just printed it in-house, but decided to upgrade this year. So we'll start kicking these off here with our fitness fair on Saturday. So we're actually really excited about getting this out and then, yeah, helping people see what the rec center has. Yeah, Eric.
Could you put like so we could scan it and just go to a PDF and have access to it?
Oh, yes, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea. We will do that. Yeah, so I was really excited about that. Andy helped finalize it, make it look nice and pretty and way better than what we had last year. So super excited about that, getting that out this year with our fitness fair and kicking that off on Saturday. We'll obviously be really busy with that on Saturday. And the only other thing I'm going to throw out there is we're reading a book together as a team. Fans First, if you've Savannah Bananas. Thank you, Scott. Yeah, have you read the book? Yeah, you or get it on Audible. It's actually a really quick read and easy read, but we're super excited about it. Idea of fans first or customers first, and just kind of going above and beyond and trying to create an unforgettable experience. So I think Andy hit the nail on the head with this one, trying to just up a little bit what we're doing and keep improving what we're doing at the rec center. So we have an awesome team. I'm super excited to kick off this new 2025. Lots in play for this coming year. Some adaptive fitness that we're bringing on at the end of the month. So some new fitness for fitness classes, not just sports. Had a really great conversation with a fellow pickleball player that Eric and Diana introduced me to. She is a, what sport does she play collegiately?
Softball.
Softball. So collegiate softball player, that she has a nonprofit that she brings in other collegiate sports athletes, and then they do like an adaptive sports night for kids.
It's
So,
okay, you can say what college she's at.
well, which one?
College of Southern Idaho.
Thank you. Oh, that's right. I couldn't remember for the life of me what it was.
Sorry, nobody can usually remember that.
Whoa,
Yeah.
And Eric went
Yeah, yeah. And she's a pickleball player, so there's a lot of fun there, yeah.
she's a delight.
She's super awesome. So she's going to bring in some collegiate athletes. We've got a phone call set up that we'll do with her next week, and we'll do that in the summertime, that we'll bring in some collegiate athletes and do an adaptive sports night. So anyway, really fun, new, exciting things that are coming online. We can't keep up. There's not enough hours in the day to do everything that we want to do, but anyway, we're excited. So any questions for me at the rec center?
No, well done. This looks nice. I think my only suggestion would be to add swimming.
Oh, yeah, and the pool stuff. Well, so we will probably do this one for this first part of the year, and then we'll transition to a summer one, so we'll totally add the pool
Add 'em
stuff to
together.
that. Yeah, I love that.
Are these going to be given to members as they
Yep.
subscribe, or?
Yep, we'll do new members just to kind of start and kick off with. I mean, obviously, if somebody walks in and wants one, we'll give one to anyone that wants one, but yeah.
So your senior picture, it's nice of you that you got sit in for this. So
Are you
thank
kidding me? I didn't
that
pick the
was really
pictures.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at all the pictures. Well, I'll talk to Andy about that one.
Looks well. Nice one. Nice
Okay,
done.
awesome, thank you.
Thank you. Let's hear from our fire chief.
Holy California.
Oh.
How did that fire start?
I don't know yet. I haven't heard. I've been kind of watching to see, but I haven't heard anything yet.
But
I'm
it's,
not sure.
but it's what you do, what happens when you cut fire funding.
Yeah, that can be.
That's what it was.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues with that, between funding, between cleanup in foliage and all that stuff around up there, with their mandate, they can't do anything like that with.
They won't let you
What-
clean up.
you can't
clean
do
up-
anything,
can't
yeah.
Clean up any
Yeah.
dead wood.
Why?
From the-
Because it's natural?
It's a green thing, green deal, whatever, you don't want to hurt the environment, I don't know what, or something like that. But when I went to the Oregon fire back 5 years ago, in Northern California, Oregon, a lot of people, a lot of customers, they were just furious because they
Yeah.
couldn't do stuff.
They-
They'd
you
get a
can't-
fine.
You can't clear off some of even your own
Yeah.
property.
Yeah,
If
so
it's
that's,
dead wood,
so it's been sitting there for 15, 20, 30 years, and
and
it's
then
just,
you cut fire funding.
yeah. So it's a bad deal. I live down there.
It's sad.
And you get up in those areas, it's difficult, people don't listen a lot, then they get caught in traffic and they get leave, and, it creates a lot of
So
different
is
things,
it
so.
under control or not yet?
Oh, no, it's
No,
not
it's
even
not even
close.
close.
No, it's gonna be,
I mean, I've been
it'll be a
seeing
while.
stuff, but-
Malibu is gone.
Yeah, Malibu, it's burning a lot over there, it's going everywhere. They send out an EMAC for, the guys to go down and help out, we're just running so short and thin with people doing stuff, we can't get enough guys to,
Oh
it'd
my
be just,
gosh.
for us right now, at this time, just, I got.
we don't know how it started?
I got to think the citizens first, and, they're second, so
Yeah.
we just don't have enough people to send at this time, so. We'll watch this, maybe in a few weeks, if it works out, we can get some guys down there, but yeah, they're asking for help. But with that too, just so you guys know, we've had our own couple, we don't have nearly the interface like they have, in California, but we do have our own little, from 1400 East all along here between Orem, Linden and stuff, but a few years ago, Zach and some of our guys put together this little book. We have this in all of our frontline rigs, and some maps of all the dirt roads, the bike trails, the access points, where we can evacuate people. All this is in this book that they can use if something ever does happen. Well, we've had our own couple little scares up there. We don't want to, lose anything. Our goal is not to lose anything, but we do look at that every spring. We go up there, check it out. We'll probably go up there this year and do some more flyers and let people know who live on that east side. Just there's things they can do to manage that, to take care of stuff. So if something does happen, or prevent stuff, so things
Chief, would
like
there
that.
be a way to get an electronic version of that to?
We can
send
do
out
that,
to
yeah,
the
like,
residents?
same thing with the rate, we'll look at that
Yeah.
and get that on our website, or get that out, that'd be
Okay.
totally good, yeah. We'll look at something like that and put that together, so. But yeah, like I say, it's terrible to see down there, and like you say, we don't have anything like them, but we have our own little stuff, so we're watching that, we're keeping track of that, and we're hopefully nothing ever does, but we're, hopefully on top of it. But, fire department's going great. We offered a job to for hopefully a new assistant for the fire department, and crossed our fingers. We'll start here in a couple weeks. She's super excited, just a local person in town, so we're excited about that. We're testing, we got almost 40 applicants, I think, in our testing pool right now for our open position. We got probably 15 of them have all the certifications that we're looking for, so we're really hopeful of getting somebody who's got some little bit of qualification, jump in and move right along there. But other than that, with that, everything is going good. We did have a couple little accidents. Just, I don't know, Councilman Jensen texted me on one. We had out in front of Macy's, some guy fell asleep, he said, with a Sprinter van and rear-ended another car doing about 40, 50 miles an hour. No skid marks, nothing, just rammed in. We ended up extricating one person out, transporting a child and a mother to the hospital. And then right after that, which, you know, you guys love to hear those little, what do they call them, the Ciron bikes or whatever. There was one right out in front of Powerhouse. They were in the crosswalk, had the right, but they were riding their bikes. They're going quite fast and went across the road, and the lady turning left, turning and hit one of them, or two of them were on one bike and got one of them. And they were in the crosswalk, but they were on their bike riding pretty quick. Yeah, so it was probably pretty hard to see, but yeah, they got hit and had a pretty good broken leg, tib fib, open fracture. Probably 14-year-old kid, 15-year-old kid, I'm guessing, but transported them. So it's, you know, it's been busy. We just barely getting some of our numbers back. We're up a fair amount this last year. We're probably up 300 plus runs right now as it is from last year. So just kind of getting busy and moving along. So other than that, I think we're just going. So.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks.
Public Works.
Things are moving along. Projects are in full force still. A couple of notable projects. We have our Wade Springs rehabilitation up on the hill that is going really well. The Boulevard well is fully functional, fully operational. It's not putting water into our system yet, but we're turning it on for about an hour or two a day. We're watching how it reacts and responds to the aquifer, and it's doing pretty well. No pun intended. The turbidity starts up, and a new well needs to continue to develop. So you turn it on, you flush it out, you watch the turbidity, meaning kind of how cloudy it is. It gets down to reachable levels. And that this time is getting shorter each day. It's been kind of an interesting coordination effort because another project we have going on is the channel to the lake, and the water from that well that we're flushing ends up going down there. And coincidentally, the St. John property detention basin that was just recently completed and is still being finalized, but is completed enough that we can actually turn a gate down and fill up our detention basin so we don't adversely impact the channel of the lake. And at the end of the day, we can go open that up and we're able to coordinate those efforts. But it's a big effort, but it's a great thing to see the infrastructure put in place and have it executed the way that it's supposed to. So we're doing so good in our own city. We've expanded to other cities. Our channel of the lake is in Linden. The AF diversion project is in Highland. That structure is gone, and I don't know if you've driven down there.
I couldn't believe, it's out of there.
The structure that's been there for over 100 years and has provided a good service to the people and users of American Fork River is gone. Fully demolished, the river is bypassed, and footings are going in for the new structure of which we're a sponsor and financially participator in. And then there's a new transmission line along the mill ditch which feeds from that diversion structure in Cedar Hills. So Linden, Cedar Hills, Highland. We did some striping in American Fork this year with our 2600 North just to tie into it. So we're slowly, if we were a risk game, we're fortifying those borders pretty well. I've got a few items well, actually, one item that's on the agenda I wanted to show you. So I'll just plug in. Kyler, if you can help me out here, get the screen turned on. The first thing I wanted to do is show you our Public Works holiday entryway and see if you guys notice anything.
It's a beautiful sight.
Just keeps on giving.
Well, the flag and the poinsettia are really the two
Yeah.
main pillars that we need to
Focal
focus on.
points, bookends, if you will.
The dead points now?
Yeah, it really is inviting, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so now that you've got that in your mind, on your agenda tonight is the Blackhurst Agreement. It's under an LLC, so the LLC is listed there, pedals of some sort or anything, but if you can orient yourself and familiarize where we are, Canyon Road on the north end of town, you can see 2600 North there. There's a vacant property just north of the church. You can't see my mouse, but I did some beautiful artwork here. This piece of property is being developed, and if you looked at what would naturally occur under a situation, these blue lines would potentially be future roads. That concept is shown here.
This has come before us before, right?
Yeah, this was Steve's neighborhood. I think
This-
some of his
this
neighbors came
is-
out.
This is my neighborhood.
The
but
development
it's a little
itself
changed. It's
is
changed
actually
now.
not coming before you tonight. There's an agreement that is with Blackhurst that I'm going to bring up here.
Yeah.
As an item that fits in the zone, this new law.
So the new development's going before the planning commission, I think, tomorrow. right?
Yeah.
So,
As a residential neighborhood, it doesn't go to you guys anymore. The legislature kind of said we don't need to do that since it fits all the rules. But what I'm bringing before you is Mr. Blackhurst or Pedals isn't quite ready to develop just yet. And so as a need to develop, I wish my mouse was working there, but it doesn't seem like it is. You need 2 points of egress. But if you look at where that blue line would connect to Canyon Road, I don't love that. And especially since, for sure in the future, there will be a road connection with the Blackhurst property.
You can mirror your screen maybe, Neil.
Well, I'm okay. I've kind of, so if we, did I pass up a slide here? No, okay, I've got another one, but it would work a little bit better if we cul-de-sac to that road, but that doesn't create a second access point. So what we want to do is actually create an opportunity for an access point through here. And then as part of the discussion, we said, but we still need some pedestrian access out to Canyon Road in case there was a condition in which this area of the road was blocked off. So here again is what the developer, and I want to say that we encourage this. I encourage this because this connection right here is not a good connection. First of all, you don't like connections to main roads. They slow traffic down, they present what we call conflict points. And so Blackhurst is like, well, I still want to run my horses there, but someday there will be a road there. He understands that. Here's a picture of where that would connect. Just beyond that this is Google Maps. There's a car park there. So that connection to that road would be just beyond there. So
Yeah.
making a left-hand turn out of there is a bad deal.
we actually had a car, I don't know if this is working. Yeah, we had a car come around this curve and fly into the field. I don't know if the chief was there, but
Yeah, it flew into the field going 80 miles an hour. Some kid trying to make that speed trap go as high as it can. So that was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a pretty dangerous curve. Yeah, I don't know what he was doing, but he ended up basically right where that black line is in the field right here.
Right.
He rolled over, complete. All the airbags went off. I can't believe both him and his friend walked away from it, but. Yeah,
So-
I agree with you, Neil. That's a dangerous place to have.
So we
an
brokered,
intersection.
we brokered this deal. We normally don't get in between a developer and his plans and everything else. But we said this road's going in, and so to have this connect down through here and a connection out there in the long-term plan of the city is not as good a plan as putting a cul-de-sac. So the future road's gonna go there. And where I wanted to protect the city is say, well, I'm ready to do this and present to the city council and recommend it if you'll dedicate that property to us. So it's gonna be our property.
What property?
The road, right,
The easement for that road.
it's not an easement. It's gonna be
property
our
transfer,
property.
yeah.
So I actually talked to the landowner because he's in my neighborhood. I know him
Yeah.
quite well. So, and that was,
Is the owner developing?
not right now.
No.
No,
So
no,
the-
no, but that's who is the future.
So this was a family parcel. Their dad died, and then one of the kids bought the family home, which is up there on the top, which is here. One of the sons already lived here, so or down here, excuse me.
Yeah,
And so
right,
he
yeah.
used his inheritance to buy this part. The rest of his siblings kept this and have sold it to a developer. So I talked to him about that, and that was one of the questions he actually asked me, because, and I wanted to clarify, is this,
Yeah.
so is this gonna subdivide this into two parcels?
It is. It
He's a
is.
little concerned about that.
Apparently, the developer and the property owner have worked out terms for some improvements along there. But our agreement is not gonna be with the developer. Our agreement will be with this property owner. And our agreement will be that the road is dedicated and it's our road, and there will be fencing along there, and our public safety folks will have access through there whenever they need to, whenever we need it. And also, there's gonna be a water line connection through here. To run a water line all the way up to here with only one feed, we don't love that. And so we're gonna connect the water line through, the sewer's gonna come down through here. But this will allow the property owner to still run their wheel line and run their horses, and do what
Why
they
wouldn't we-
want.
Why wouldn't we just build the road now?
The property owner doesn't want the road built.
Well, I understand that.
And we
But-
can't force him to.
Well, but if we own the property,
We will own the property
When he develops.
when this subdivision is approved.
okay, so that's the question, right? So the question is, if the property is being developed up above, at which time we're transferred the ownership of that road, why wouldn't we just build an egress and a in and out? I'll say it that way.
We don't build roads, we let developers build them.
So you'll just allow that to be,
And until Blackhurst wants to put homes there, then Blackhurst will be required to install all of the surface road improvements. That's a very valid question. Why don't we have a road there now? And what I'm saying is, I believe it's worth it to the city, because this developer here, he can't develop this way unless this is here
right.
in some form. So he's either got to build a road out to Canyon Road, which I don't necessarily recommend because of that curve, but that would be required of him. So what we're agreeing is to allow Blackhurst to utilize the property as a land use agreement until he develops and has to build the road. Now,
But he may never develop it.
we did put in there that on a sunset, we can build the road when we choose to.
Yeah, so there's a 10-year.
Yeah.
There's a 10-year period where we can't force the road to go in, but that road will be available. At least that's how I read the agreement.
Yes, that is correct.
For safety personnel, the city will have access through the gates that are put up or whatever. But then after 10 years, if the city elects, then the road can be put in as a permanent road.
So it's a 10-year sunset to the agreement? And then what
To
happens?
us being allowed to install the road at our choosing.
Yeah, so it's right here, 2.7.
Okay, and if we decide to not do it in 10 years, if we decide to do it in 20 years, the agreement stays in force?
That is correct.
Okay.
And I'm not a fan of this. I really am not.
Well, it goes against,
But in this scenario, I believe the benefits far outweigh the risk to the city. And Tina has done her best, I would say, to make sure, in legal terms, to make sure that we're protected so that we don't get ourselves into future problems. Because let's face it, sometimes delayed promises or commitments create problems. I believe, and we'll have to see, but I believe that having this cul-de-sac, having pedestrian access out to Canyon Road and having this eventually tie through is the best thing for our city. That's my recommendation. That's what the agreement is to. That's ultimately for you to decide.
So the only access that we're granting to is the pedestrian. Do you feel like that's gonna carry all of the traffic that's gonna need that?
In like a major emergency, if this road has a
Go back a slide.
blow up,
All right, so that seems like well, I guess we have
Well, if,
Crestwood is longer.
but if you have a major emergency, they can use that access still. They can come through that.
that is correct. I'm just saying, this will have a gate there, but yes, we will be able to go open the gate. They'll be able to use this. And I believe for pedestrian connectivity even, this is a good thing to have here. I believe accessing this place of worship through that area in pedestrians has value in it to a city. And I believe bicycle access.
Is big enough to handle, because I would imagine that would be the natural flow of traffic would be down to Sienna.
Yeah, this is a residential, half-acre lots, that you can't get any less dense than this.
So Neil, so this black represents a pedestrian walkway?
That is correct. That's what's
Yeah,
shown.
that makes sense, because Crestwood
right
doesn't
there.
have any sidewalks.
Yeah,
So,
You're right.
so this, and it's a skinnier street.
yeah.
So this does make sense to have access through that parcel.
curb gutter sidewalk on First East, right?
Right through here, yes.
All the way down.
All the way
Yeah,
down.
Yeah.
So it's,
So that's safer.
again, this was something, I caught the developer in the Hall of Public Works pretty randomly. He might come tonight, but I'm the one who said, let's explore this and see if we can get rid of this connection here. So it was a pretty big process. We got public safety involved and the fire marshal to make sure that this was satisfactory to their needs. And ultimately, it's a land use agreement between Blackhurst and the city that says Blackhurst can use our right-of-way.
So one of the issue, I guess, that I'm seeing is that right now, this is not approved, right, yet? My understanding is it goes before the planning commission for approval tomorrow. Does it make sense to continue this item? Because if this doesn't go through, do we need this right now?
Well, what I would recommend is when we make the motion, that upon recording of the plat, we approve the agreement. That's what I would recommend.
The motion can simply be conditional
Yeah,
upon either recording the plat or approval by the planning commission.
Final approval of the.
Because the planning commission really can't approve it without this second access ability.
yeah, it's,
So that's why we're asking you to do this first, so that when they go to the planning commission on Thursday, they can prove to the planning commission that they have the ability to provide that second access. Otherwise, planning commission can't approve their development.
So one of the things that came up, and Tina, maybe you can answer this, because again, I had a couple of conversations with the land over here. In section 2.2, and do we want to get into this minutia here, or?
Yeah, we can.
Sure. Okay.
Well,
So
sorry.
it's, so.
Did you want to wait till council meeting?
I mean, you can ask the question, but I hesitate to do everything in work session when it's advertised to be taken care of.
So maybe I'll just ask the question and have you answer it during council meeting. The question that the landowner posed to me was whether or not this was the dedication of actual title or whether it was a dedication of a right-of-way. And he pointed to section 2.2, not 2.2, but 2.1, where it says that there would be that Blackhurst will dedicate the 56-foot road right-of-way to Pleasant Grove City.
A dedication means we get title to the property, it's
So-
ours, if that's the question.
Yeah, so
it's not-
so the question was whether or not he's dedicating the right-of-way or the actual land.
He's dedicating the land, which is a right-of-way.
It's one and the same.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Well, a right-of-way, because I think what we've been talking about is that he's going to have a right-of-way on the parcel that he dedicates to us. Just the contract reads a little bit, he brought this up to me, so I'm just bringing it up to us, because that was his concern. I guess he didn't understand that. I don't know if he had a lawyer look at this, but he brought that up to me.
I think, and maybe it's just a question of people who deal with it every day in terms of subdivision plats and dedication. When you dedicate a road, dedicate a right-of-way, you're dedicating, title transfers to the city. That will be shown on the Utah County tax records as the city's road. And we use those terms interchangeably between right-of-way and road right-of-way. That's what it's for.
So, okay, that makes sense to me. The second thing was, I guess there's a secondary agreement that has to come out after this, that we're going to allow him like irrigation access across our property.
That's all part of this same agreement. This is a one and done. He has seen this and worked through this
Yeah,
extensively. How he came to his conclusions of whether or not it was a choice for him to do was totally and independently up to Mr. Blackhurst. This is not something that we said you have to do. Let me make that clear. This is a voluntarily moved upon between the developer of the property and Blackhurst. They have their own separate agreements, whether they're handshake or written, we don't know.
Yeah.
What we know is in order for this to be approved, he needs this secondary access that will be someday. And we're going to own that through when this plat is created, we're gonna own that road. And our agreement that we're bringing before you is that Blackhurst will get to use that road to run his wheel line across and his horses across and.
Well, and that was where I was getting at, is in section 2.4, it just says that via a separate document. So it says that the city will grant an easement via a separate document.
Well, that's gonna be through this plat. Because the plat will allow that existing irrigation crossing to remain in there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm just presenting, we
Yeah,
chatted
yeah.
about it, and that's what
Yeah, sure.
he was wondering how that was all gonna be done. So I thought that was a valid question.
Yeah,
But I see that he signed the agreement, so yeah, I see that.
yeah.
Yeah,
We wouldn't have put it on the agenda if he hadn't signed it first.
yeah.
But we're happy to entertain any more questions that he might have or concerns as well. I mean, we want it to be a good thing for all parties.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, the benefit is not having that connection there. And so it's a three-way discussion, but only a two-way agreement.
So Neil, vicinity plan follows in 2 weeks?
The vicinity plan will also come. That's why I wanted to spend as much time now giving all this information because the vicinity plan will be amended as well. So that will need to just come a little bit after this as well. Get that on the agenda for next week.
2 weeks.
Next meeting. Hey, I'm ready to meet if you guys are. Any questions related to this any further? We'll bring it up in council meeting as well, but the extensive background is here. The consent items, I think, are representative of all that is still continuing to happen in our city, so.
Neil, did you want to cover 10B then? Sorry, while you're up here.
10B is the award of our roadway project. I introduced those roads to you. Last meeting, we went through a procurement process, and we're recommending Geneva Rock in the tune of about $3.5 million. That will grow as we add some roads and evaluate some more. We wanted to see what their pricing was and what our budgets were to then be able to add or take away or determine how that was going to work. So it's pretty flexible in that manner, and we'll add a few more roads, probably add some concrete and sidewalk repair to that as well as we negotiate through that to perform pretty similarly to how we did it last year, where we identified the roads, we identified some sidewalks. We tried to get all of the sidewalks that we felt we could do with our budget repaired, and then we'll do the roads. And just as a note, we're getting pricing now for the roads we did last year to do some grinding of the sidewalks. So kind of finalize what we did last year. We did some concrete, we did the roads. There's still some things grinding wise, and those aren't big ticket items, but to say, okay, we're gonna leave this project in pretty good shape with the roads and the sidewalks. And then we've got as much or more utility and roadway projects under design right now for next year as well. So it's all coming. It's hard to believe it, but.
So when we do our annual budget planning session
Yep.
here next month, you'll have a comprehensive
Yep.
look at what you're doing in 2025.
Yeah, we'll need to schedule plenty of time for that.
We always do.
Any other questions?
Is there access to that list that you showed us?
We're getting it in list format, yeah.
Okay.
It's just, yeah, we'll have a list by the retreat for sure. And then we'll get it up on the website and go from there.
Okay. Since you made it back, Daniel, we'll give you a few minutes here.
City Council, Mayor. Sorry, I just came from an inspection. I tried to run as fast as I could. Some of you guys attended the first function of the Health Care Center. So I just want to have the opportunity to express the great customer service that community development and the staff did. They were very accommodating. They were doing inspections Fridays, 4 p.m. They did everything they could, and I think they did a fantastic job. Okay, so my building division is by Kara. It's me, Kara, and Shane, because we don't have a building official right now. So we're in the process, so it was the three of us. But those two guys, Kara and Shane, they did a fantastic job. Had the opportunity to work, and the workers, the builders, some of them work 24/7 in that place. They work in New Year's. They work. They work. Yeah, no. New Year's, Christmas, and they did everything they could to get it ready. At the end of the day, I mean, we have a beautiful building. There's still a couple things that they need to be finished, but none of them are safety related. So that was the primordial goal, to make sure that everything safety was done, electrical and stuff like that. There's functional stuff that's still they're working on it, and.
What building was this?
The Health.
Just Health Theater.
The roof.
Somehow we missed that.
Okay. The roof, the theater.
Yeah, they were
So-
working 24/7.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah, and I think staff responded equally responsible to him. So we have a great place, functions are going on, and hopefully it just takes off from there.
Do they have all their permits, everything ready to go? I noticed the small Lindsay Theater wasn't available, but that's not necessarily because of us, it was just,
Let's say that this is, if this is a marathon race, this is the line, and they're like this, like half of their body is on the other side, half of their body is on
so has it all been inspected and signed off and done?
Like I said, like we make sure that all the safety stuff was good to go. There's still a couple of functional stuff that they're working on it. The internet, there's some stuff that got to do, but most of it is all completed.
No, so they have sections of that building have
Yes.
occupancy, sections don't.
So, for example,
The theater does not have occupancy right
That was the question.
Yeah.
Okay.
we did something that we call it. It wasn't a temporary occupancy, but sections of the building were 100% completed.
Okay.
But the entire building is huge, right? So there's sections that are still working on it, parts of it. But the parts that are occupied, they do have a certificate of occupancy.
We did partial C of Os
Mm-hmm.
for different areas of the building as they were completed and needed to be used, but there
Yeah.
are areas that are not able to be occupied yet.
And for example, some other places, they're like yes or no for the entire building. Like we have to investigate, we work how to do a partial certificate of occupancy. So like I said, staff work with the builders to make sure these areas that were ready to go, they were sectioned off completely and it was safety. So anyway, it was a great project and we're looking forward for the next. That's how community development. We finished something and we're looking for the next one. I know there's some questions about a restaurant on State Street, and I've been receiving a lot of phone calls asking me what the restaurant is going to be by Iceberg.
Oh, okay.
So just so not even community development knows. So we don't know what the restaurant is going to be. We know that.
You have a smile like you might know.
No. If I
think they're still, I mean, it looks like they're still trying to lease the building.
Yeah. He's got a smile.
No, it's because there's a bed. There's a bed. People are betting to see what is. And if I knew the answer, I would make you guys win. But no, we don't. We for sure we don't know. It used to be at the beginning. It was something called Taki Taki Grill. I don't know if you guys remember. But then I received phone calls saying that Taki Taki Grill is a no-go anymore. So they're looking for somebody else. But the permit keeps on going. The permit keeps on going. Okay. So and that's normal. We can have a permit for a restaurant that doesn't have a name. And finally,
What about Holy Taco? Do you know about that?
yes,
Yes.
I know Holy Taco very well. The developer has my personal phone number because she went with me to high school. So she called me this morning, and they're having their final inspection Friday morning. So that's
Been waiting.
yeah. So Friday morning is their final inspection. They're not developers, so it took them quite some time to get stuff done, and but yeah. And Fat Cats, they're done with their first round of reviews. They're taking their time to turn around their comments. So we have a formal application. We have reviewed the site plan. We have reviewed what they're going through. We send them comments, extensive list of comments. After the first round of reviews, usually is the biggest list of comments. They're working on them. We have not received the turnaround, the corrected red line. So that's where we are with those projects that we are targeting at this moment. Okay. Thank you, Mayor and Council, and guess you guys have.
Thanks, Daniel.
My pleasure.
Daniel does have an item on the agenda, but he'll just present it when we get into our city council.
Okay, all right. And so Denise, do you have anything for us?
I survived the audit, so, yeah, so the PAFR and the ACFR are out on the city's website,
Okay,
and they've been submitted to the Government Finance Officers Association and the Utah State Auditor's Office, so that's done. So we still have the federal audit to do, but we have till March, so just working on that.
okay.
Well done.
And Wendy? Okay. Tina?
As many of you know, our prosecutor took another position. His last day was December 20th, so I'm doing 2 jobs right now. Excuse me, we're in the middle of trying to recruit another prosecutor.
We have an offer on the table,
We have an offer on the table.
Okay.
We do. So, I'm busy. I may not survive. We'll see.
We have faith.
Kyler?
Thanks, Tina.
2 weeks away from the legislative session. I hear you're looking forward to it, Todd.
I am.
Just kidding. Just based off some remarks earlier.
Oh, there's some things we can talk about.
Yeah. There's already 100 and, or 225 bills that have been submitted. I think last year's record was 592.
225?
So we're gonna be there. We have a few ideas of some of the bills we're gonna be looking at, and we'll keep you informed as we go. Other than that, we have the computer buyback program going on right now. I believe you still have one from last year.
I know.
So work with Wendy on that.
What,
Yeah,
did
it's
she
been a
get the machine but didn't pay, or didn't pay, or got the, or paid and didn't get the
reserved it.
machine?
We still have the machine.
Never said I never have moved forward on that. I forgot
Yeah.
completely.
We're about ready to garnish wages, let's just say that.
Oh, please do.
That's all I have.
Scott, do you have anything else for our break?
Just a reminder, tomorrow is the VIP for Melty from 2 to 4 p.m., which is by invitation only. And it's not for 4 hours. I think you can stop by any time between 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock for that. And then Friday is the ribbon cutting. That will be at 10:30 a.m. So that's when they'll officially cut the ribbon on Melty, so.
Okay, I'm glad you clarified that, Scott. So the 2 is just an event? The
Yeah,
2 o'clock,
it's
2 to
a-
4 is just a
Yeah.
kind of a meet and
So you can come
greet type?
anytime between 2 and 4 o'clock.
Well, that's, I guess that's,
Yeah, so the VIP event
that's
is
2,
tomorrow
from 2 to 4
4.
tomorrow. And then 10 o'clock,
And then 10:30 on Friday is the ribbon
ribbon
cutting
cutting.
for Melty.
okay.
Okay.
And then we have our upcoming budget and planning meeting, that's February 7th. I will be sending you an email to see if there's items that you would like to have on that agenda for discussion. We'll be putting our stuff together as staff. I'm hoping in a couple weeks to have that agenda out so that you can know what to prepare for as far as that's concerned. For our meeting in 2 weeks, we do have 2 vicinity plans. Neil mentioned one. We do have another one that's on the table. We're also looking to get our sponsorship agreement with the Health Center Theater approved so that we can move forward with that, so. And we have a citizen recognition in our work session from a police matter where we had a citizen step up and help out, so, Chief. Yeah. So that's on our agenda tonight, but that has been pushed to the 21st.
Okay,
That's all I have.
all right. With that, I ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I have a motion by Councilmember Jessen, a second.
Second?
Councilmember Williams. All in favor, say aye.